Hannah speak. Hello and welcome back. We have a couple fun bookish days ahead of us, so I thought I'd take you guys along with me. Today we are going to see Kristin Hannah speak in Grand Rapids. It's an event for the library system that I'm a part of, and it's free. And they actually sold so many tickets. They originally had 1,200 tickets, and the tickets sold out so fast they end up getting a bigger arena. So there's over 10,000 people going. So I'm going to take you guys along to that. They actually are filming it, so I'm going to be able to get some actual footage from that to put in the video too, but I will be there in person. I'm so excited. Me and my friend and my husband are going to see her, so that'll be so fun. And then tomorrow I'm going to do a little bit of a beach day. I think my book of the month box is coming, so I might do an unboxing. And then Thursday I'm going to a book bedazzling event with my friend as well. So we have some fun bookish summer things to do. I am off for the summer as I work at a school, and so I'm off for the next 2 months, and so I'm going to be doing a lot of bookish things this summer, just kind of resetting and relaxing and just kind of enjoying the sunshine while it's here. So I'm going to take you guys along with me for some of the fun bookish things I'm going to be doing. So let's get into it. I made an iced huckleberry latte. I just started doing this like maybe a couple weeks ago because I love Montana. I love huckleberries. My grandma used to make me huckleberry jam because she would go to Montana every year and make jam. And when I went to Montana last time, I got a huckleberry latte a few times, loved it. And then I thought, wait, they probably have the syrup online. And I looked up and they, in fact, did. So I've been making my own. I do mostly huckleberry syrup and then just a splash vanilla. I see people put like maybe white chocolate sauce and other stuff on TikTok, but this is good and I enjoy it. And so I bounce between this one and my banana bread latte is the one I normally make. So I'm going to drink this and hang out.
Joining us from the Pacific Northwest, Kristin Hannah and Megan Chance will share insights, anecdotes, and the magic behind their writing. Tonight will be an unforgettable celebration of imagination, creativity, and the power of words. Please join me in welcoming Kristin Hannah and Megan Chance.
Wow.
You guys are going to make us cry.
Just wow.
You know, I do that all the time, so
Yeah,
it's okay.
It's just wow.
So we are so excited to be here. And I just want to say really quickly, we are here about friendship and women and bringing women together.
You were talking about Montana.
Oh, that was a different book.
It was a totally different
book.
book.
Okay, so that's actually kind of interesting, the women. So what had happened was in about, I'm going to say, so I wrote a book called Mystic Lake. It was my first hardcover novel. It was like a long time ago, 20 years ago. And I had a very, very reputable editor. I remember the first time I called her to speak to her assistant said, "Oh, Anne can't come to the phone. She's accepting the Pulitzer. Can I have her call you back?"
Yeah, that's right.
And I am fresh out of romance. I'm like, yeah, have her call me back. But so she bought on Mystic Lake and really helped me become a better writer. And so when you finish one novel and you're under contract, well, I guess I wasn't under contract, but you give your idea for what you're going to do next. And so I submitted to Anne, and this was 1999. I submitted a book about the Vietnam era. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to write it because, we were kids. Like, I was 10, basically, during this time period.
And I would also be 10.
Yes. 11. But so my best girlfriend when I was 10, her dad was a pilot and he was shot down. And so, we wore the bracelets with his name on it. And I wore that bracelet well through college. So his name and the date he was shot down and his loss was always with me. And as someone who came of age during that era, and our friends' dads were going and coming back or not coming back, we saw how the vets were treated. And this made a huge impact on me. And I always wanted to write about it. I was never entirely sure what the story was, but I knew that I wanted to write about the Vietnam era. And so after On Mystic Lake, I submitted this, I can't remember now what it was, but a Vietnam era idea to my editor, who was 10 years older than me and had been at Berkeley in 1968. And she sort of took me aside and she said, "Kristin, I love you. You have a marginal talent."
She did not say that.
But you are not old enough to write about Vietnam, and frankly, you're not good enough. And thank God. Thank God I had someone who was, tough enough to say these things to me, because she was absolutely right. I was like, 30, whatever. Mm-hmm. I wasn't old enough. I didn't know enough. The world wasn't ready. Nobody wanted to read about it then. And so every couple of years after that, I would be looking desperately for an idea while she was spinning them out. And I would say, maybe the Vietnam book is ready.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about we've been talking about a Vietnam book for, I don't know, it's
for the
been
whole
20 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking, am I old enough? Am I good enough? Mm-hmm. And every time I personally would answer those and say no. Mm-hmm. One or the other. Either I wasn't, and I don't mean old enough like not old enough, I just wasn't emotionally ready. And I certainly wasn't good enough. And so I just kept waiting and waiting and waiting. And then I turned in The Four Winds. And I turned in The Four Winds in March of 2020 when the lockdown started. And so suddenly my husband and I are in our house on a small island, off Seattle. And lockdown on our island is lockdown. It's not like there was nothing there.
Yeah, you couldn't go
I
anywhere.
needed another idea. And I was watching the news and, watching the pandemic. And I was seeing how divided our country was. And it just kept, it just made a big impact. Here we are again. It felt very much like the Vietnam era. Here we are angry and divided. And then I saw the medical personnel on the front line of the pandemic, and I felt they weren't getting the help and the support that they needed. And I remember calling Megan and saying, you know what? This is the time for Vietnam. I can't leave the house. This is the time, and it's about the nurses. And you said, thank God.
Well, yeah, and yeah, and it was, she had been working on this other idea, which was, set, and she'd been spinning this other idea around quite a bit, and, it was all these different things, oil wells in Hollywood and Montana and all these other kinds of
I think
stuff.
I sold it.
You did sell it.
Yeah.
You had turned it in, and she's like, it just doesn't feel like me, it just doesn't feel right. And I'm like, well, it will be you when you write it, but, I kind of, wish you would write your China Beach book. And she's like, that's so weird that you would say that, because I've been thinking about, the nurses and all this stuff. And it just kind of spun off from there. And she's like, wow, my editor's going to have a cow when I, turn it in.
It's such an 80s thing.
Yeah.
She's going to have a cow.
I know. It's actually kind of a 70s thing, but yeah.
It is?
Yeah.
See? I can't do anything.
I can't help it. I'm a terrible know-it-all.
But it's true. I mean, it was scary. And that's one of the things you were talking earlier about, our fearlessness or whatever. And I think the truth is that we're looking for the idea that frightens us.
Yeah.
And because that is, I think, in life for all of us, if you're not doing things that scare you, you are not growing the way you need to be. We all need to be afraid. We all need to be pushing ourselves. And I remember thinking at that point at the Four Winds, I was fairly successful as a novelist.
Yeah.
And I thought, nobody wants to read about the Vietnam War. No one.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very clear. There was no ifs,
yeah,
ands,
we
or
had
buts.
friends who were saying, I'm not going to read.
Some of our best
Yeah.
friends said, I love you, Kristin, I'm not reading that.
Yeah.
And that's been after it's been out.
Yeah.
And so, but the more I sort of the more I researched, the more I got into it, the more I felt beyond compelled. Which, speaking of which, I just have to say very briefly, for those of you who have read The Women, I was so lucky in this journey to get some help on this book, because I wrote it for about 2 years. And this was one of those rare books where when I got to the end of the 2-year mark and the drafts of the book, I thought, I need someone to tell me if I'm right or wrong.
Yeah.
Because unlike, say, The Four Winds or The Nightingale, I knew that people would read this book who had actually lived through it, and I had not. And so I thought, I need someone to tell me if I'm correct here, and to tell me if I've done the service to the veterans that I wanted to. And so it was the internet era, right? So you can just stalk people, and I did. So there is a book called Healing Wounds by Diane Carlson Evans, who is an Army nurse and is probably one of the most remarkable women I've ever met. In fact, I got an email today from someone who called her the guiding light of the Army nurse vets, and she passed away last week.
Yeah.
And to stay in touch with her during this whole journey, because she spent 10 years of her life trying to get the Vietnam Women's Memorial. And so for her to be involved with the women in the last year of her life was so meaningful for her. This is thank you, Amy, thank you.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Today is Wednesday. It's our first week off of school for summer break. Yesterday, we went to see Kristin Hannah speak in Grand Rapids, which was awesome. She was with her friend Megan Chance, and they did kind of an hour of just them like talking to each other, and then for the last 15 minutes, they did Q&A. It was really cool because I didn't realize that Megan Chance was Kristin's friend. I thought it was going to be more of like an interview style of like either them interviewing each other or like somebody else interviewing both of them, but it was really cool dynamic because they were both really good friends and had been friends for 37 years, they said, which was really cool and really goes along with like a lot of Kristin's books because she writes a lot about like female friendships and like sisterhood and all those type of things. So I feel like it's really cool that she kind of has that in real life, and Megan and her like review each other's books and everything. So it was really cool. I do have some audio from it that I'll play because there was some really cool stuff. They were kind of focusing on the women but talked a little bit about some of the other books as well. I ran 6 miles this morning. It's super hot and humid. Today's going to be 89 degrees today, which for Michigan is very, very hot, and it's humid. It's been raining a bit, so it's been just humid. So I'm probably going to spend some time at the beach today reading. And then tomorrow there's like a book bedazzling event that me and my friend are going to. So I'm going to show you guys some of that. I'm either thinking of bedazzling Happy Place or Book Lovers. I'm not really sure yet because I feel like those titles would look good displayed on my shelf, but I just have to do some more thinking on which one I want to bedazzle. So I'm not really a bedazzle girl, I'm not really sparkly girl, but I think it would be cool to have one like book to display on my shelf, and I'm doing with my friends, so that'll be kind of fun. So I'm going to make my coffee and make my electrolytes for the day because I sweat a lot this morning, and then we'll probably go out to the beach to read soon. So I'll take you guys along to that. So I'm about to go to the beach, but first I want to run my errands that I had to run. I have to go to the library because I have one book to pick up, and then I have to go to the post office because my book of the month like tried to deliver but it wasn't able to be delivered for some reason. I'm guessing because yesterday it was raining, they didn't want to leave it outside, and like my building's like locked, so sometimes they can get in, sometimes they can't, and I don't think they rang the bell, which is like annoying, but so I just said I'd pick it up at the post office because it's like 5 minutes away, so I'm gonna go pick up that from the post office, and then I'm going to go to the library. Library book picked up. I got Ruins by Lily Brooks Dalton. I honestly don't even remember why I put this on hold. So I don't really remember the synopsis, so this must have been something that I saw on like BookTube or TikTok that like somebody said was really good. So it must have intrigued me. I don't even know. So we shall see how it is. But yeah, I just picked it up. So it's kind of nice. I can just put them on hold at my library online, and then I just show up and they're there. So it's great. So now that I got my library book and my book of the month box, I'm going to go to the beach. I went in the water, so I feel much better because it's literally like 90 degrees outside today. But I feel much better now that I went in the water. So I'm going to read. I'm sitting in the shade because the sun, it's way too hot. So I'm reading Daddy Issues by Kate Goldbeck. And I'm also reading Mile High right now. I'm kind of switching between the two. Not a huge romance girl, so I feel like it's hard for me to like just stick with one romance book the whole time. I kind of have to switch between. I'm actually really liking Daddy Issues. Mile High, I don't know. I'm really liking Daddy Issues. It's written in a very fun way, and like as you can tell kind of on the cover, there's like a comic theme kind of, and the girl, the female main character in the book, like likes comics and collects comics because like her dad used to, and it used to be something they did together. So she like is kind of like writing, like imagining certain scenes as like a comic, so she'll like write it out as if like it was a comic, which is very interesting, and it's kind of written in like a more lighthearted, funny tone, and so I'm really enjoying that. I'm like very early on, I know only 20% in, so and the male main character is a guy who is a father, hence why it's called Daddy Issues. And yeah, so we haven't really gotten into the romance at all, but I'm really enjoying the writing. It's really fun. So I'm kind of gravitating more towards this one than Mile High is by Liz Tom Ford. It's my first book by her, which I'm going to see her at like an author Q&A in August cuz she's coming to a Detroit Tigers game, so me and my friend are going to go. And I haven't read any of her books, so I said thought I'd start because why would I meet an author and not have read any of her books? It's a sports romance, which aren't my favorite, honestly. Yeah, so I'm gravitating more towards Daddy Issues right now, and I'm enjoying that. So I think I'm gonna read that one right now while I'm just sitting on the beach. The lake in the background is very pretty, and so yeah, I'm enjoying that. I'm enjoying the shade a lot more than the sun. It's a lot nicer. So yeah, I'm just gonna read while I'm sitting here. It is time for what everyone's been waiting for. My book of the month box unboxing. I fear I got I got 4 books this month, which is a little excessive, but they're all so good. So, okay. The first one is called The Low Job. I think it's a debut. So it's about this girl Lily. She's from the Low family, and she has an affair with her boss, and who is a politician. So there's a big scandal, public scandal, and it's kind of about a little bit of like her family dealing with that scandal as well. I thought it sounded dramatic, and I think the Goodreads reviews were pretty good, even though I mean it just came out. But I thought the peach cover, the peach cover is kind of cool. So yeah, we shall see how that one is. Number 2, The Children. It is like a horror, I think, but also it's got some elements of something else, if I remember right. So it says, in which the estranged adult children of a legendary author written into their dead mother's beloved fantasy series must contend with the vine-like creep of legacy, memory, and magic. Yeah, so it has some magical elements in it. Number 3, almost called Almost Life. This one was from a few months ago. It was only from March. It feels like it was from longer even than that. But it's about like 2 friends in, I want to say, in Paris, 1978. One is enjoying a summer abroad before beginning university at home in England. One is studying for her doctorate, drinking and smoking far too much, and sleeping with a married woman. The moment the two women meet, the spark is undeniable. So this a little bit sounds like they didn't really want to get together because of kind of the time period and them being gay, and it sounds like it's spanning over decades, which I think is interesting. Then number 4, The Midnight Train. If you will remember the book The Midnight Library, which I own but have not read, that one's a pretty popular book. So this one is about, so it says, for Wilbur, it was his time with Maggie, the love of his life. Their honeymoon in Venice. Before he threw it all away, years later, on the brink of his own death, a train arrives. It can take Wilbur back in time to relive his most important moments. Soon he realizes just how much he would have changed, but is it already too late? So it's kind of like this train can take you back in time and live your most important moments. So that's kind of an intriguing premise. We shall see how these are. Good morning. I went and did a workout this morning. I cut it a little short because it's very hot and humid today. I did like a threshold workout. I totaled 6 miles, so I'm hoping if I can run a decent amount the next few days, I can hit 50 miles this week. So today we're going to go to this new coffee shop that I haven't been to, and they also have acai bowls, I hear, so I'm going to check that out. And then tonight there's a book bedazzling event that me and my friend are going to go to, so I'll take you guys along for that. And yeah, so I'm still reading Mile High, and I'm still reading Daddy Issues, and I'm hoping to finish Daddy Issues today. I have like 2.5 hours left in it. That's the plan for today. We have bedazzled a book. Are you ready? I'm actually so proud of this. I am not artsy at all. Like, I only went because my friends said they were going, and I was like, sure, social time, it's good for me. And then I just got so locked in, and I was so sweaty and so focused, and my neck hurt, but I couldn't stop. So I'm gonna show y'all. So I bedazzled the words, and then I did the little like floaties in their bathing suits. So here she is in all her glory. I got a Kindle insert and a sticker, so I'll show you guys. I got this otter one, Kindle insert, and hang on, let me girl math this. I'm upset. That was really fun. I enjoyed it. I did not expect to like bedazzling, but I did. So now I'm gonna head home. It's a 45-minute drive, but it was worth it. It was fun. So if you're still here, thank you for watching. This will be the end of the video, but thanks for spending a couple days with me, a couple bookish things, just hanging out for the summer. So like and subscribe and comment for more videos of a teacher, an educator on summer break just doing bookish things. Thank you, and see you in the next one.